everyone out there. Thank you and welcome for being part of my group today. Today's talk is going to be about who we really are. I want to awaken ourselves up, our true self, our authentic selves, to who we really are. Um, and before I get into that, I do want to explain who this group is for. It is for business owners, it's for entrepreneurs, CEOs, course creators, professionals, uh, clients, agencies, um, presidents. Anyway, that's kind of for the group to master their mind around, well, first of all, the mastermind, but most importantly is to master your mind about money, six figures and beyond. And what I like to say is like six figures, that or something better. And what does that mean? Six figures or something better. So that might be actually making seven figures. Maybe it's six figures plus. I like looking at it as um, like a vacation. Like every quarter, you take a family extended vacation. How about instead of working 5 days a week, you work 4 days a week? Another something better is maybe you only work 4 to 6 hours a week. So that's what that or something more is all about, right? We want to create a number, a financial number as a business owner, and we want to program our mind that state of being abundant, that that state of success, that state of leadership, that state of confidence. That's what I want to help you do. Is this group is for business owners to master your mind, master your money. So, with that being said, mastering like who we are, awakening our true self, that is our foundation, and this is where you start from. So I'm going to go into that, and this is my perspective of what that looks like. So who we really are is spirit. I'm going to use many names here: souls, life force. There is a force within you, which I'll talk more about as we go. There is a divine within you, a all powerful force within you. There is a higher self, a true self, a authentic self. This is like who we really are. This is our foundation of who we are. And what are all those things? Those are energy, not just any ordinary energy. Spirit is like the energy of God within us. Now, if you don't like the word God, change it to life force, whatever word you like. I like to say it like it is. But it wasn't always that way. So I would like you to open, Lao Tzu said, open your mind and heart to everything in the Bhagavad Gita. I don't know if I say it right. Open your mind, open your thoughts in your heart, and attach to nothing. So that's what I want you to do is because some of the stuff is going to be new. I know some people have conditioned minds. Like the first 7 years of our life, we are programmed. That's called the conditioning. It creates judgments. It creates attachments. So, um, so that's kind of the foundation where we start from. So, and the stuff I'm going to be talking to you about is nothing in particular order. So I just jotted down some notes, and I want to start off with Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein said that famous equation, E equals mc squared. So E, the most important thing is that E is energy. Everything is energy. M means mass. Now, another word for mass is matter. Another word for matter is our reality. So, everything we're looking at, if you break it down, take a microscope to a millionth, you will see atoms, molecules. So, this is kind of like the foundation. Another person, Nikola Tesla, who, and these guys are arguably some of the most smartest people in the world. And he said, if you want to understand the universe, think of everything as energy, frequencies, and vibrations. So if you listen to like Bruce Lipton, I learned this from him. He said the Jesuit priest, Catholic priest, said, "Show me a boy, and I will show you a man." What does that mean? Show me a boy, and I'll show you a man. So what he's saying is they knew 400 years ago that you could program the first 7 years of your life are most of your programs, and you could program a child to be Catholic, and so the rest of their life they'll be Catholics. So they knew about the subconscious mind, and this is what I'm really going to be talking to you most about. Is so we have two minds. Conscious mind plays 5% of the day, and subconscious mind plays 95% of the day. And what science is saying is 70% of our programs or more, if we think of the past or the future, we could be it could be a negative programs. And so I believe most people have at least 70% of our programs that we learn at a very young age, from like 0 to 7, and then we also can learn some more with time. But these are the ones that are heightened emotions that stick to us, and I've counted like 17 like different negative programs we have learned with the subconscious mind. And that's one thing I want to do is help people identify and remove these negative programs, right? If you are struggling and suffering and work too hard with money, it's because you've learned a negative program. So I help people go into their subconscious mind and remove these negative programs, and then you reprogram it with a new positive program with money, or it could be with success. It can be with what are some of the other ones? Leadership, learning to trust yourself, having confidence. These are all states of mind. Any kind of state of mind you can create and master that. So Gregg Braden, so he's a new thought leader, scientist, and he wrote a book, and the book was called The God Code. And what he's saying in this God Code is in our DNA, it literally spells out God eternal within our body. And he says, like in all the old languages, it said the same thing, but in different languages, but it all said the same thing. There is a God eternal within us. I just find that pretty interesting that we're not really taught some of this stuff. I'd like to say that there is what I like to call a bigger you, and there's a little you. So the big you is your all-powerful self. The bigger you is your highest and best version of yourself. This is like who you really, really are. But we're not taught this as a child. Imagine this. Like when you were a child, you knew that you're all powerful, right? And this energy came into your body, life force, source energy, created life, right? This energy and your body became one as we're being born, but you are that all-powerful energy, and that energy already is abundant. So now this is what I'll help a lot of people do, is create that belief that who they are already is abundant. So when you know the foundation of who you are, it helps create a belief in who you really are. So what else? The word quantum entanglement. So quantum physics, quantum means energy, is our foundation for our science. It is saying our science is energy. is built off of energy. We are an energy being. So so quantum entanglement means atoms that are entangled. They are connected to one another. So they are part of. And so when you realize that you are energy and money is energy, that you're connected to that, you're part of that, you are that, right? The highest thinking is you are already that. Already happened, already done. So Bruce Lipton, Dr. Bruce Lipton, said that each one of our cells has 0.07 volts. And he goes along to say that we have about 50 trillion cells in our body. Now, if you go 50 trillion times 0.07, that's like 3.5 trillion volts. We are all powerful. We literally and figuratively are all powerful. To talk a little bit about our universe, they say up in the universe, if you take where they used to say it was empty space, and you take a 3 by 3, so 3 square feet, 1 square meter, that it has the power of 10 with 26 zeros. And they said that's like enough power to boil all the oceans on Earth, to power Earth for like 1,000 years. And because we live in a unified field, we're connected to that. It makes me kind of think of the Emerald Tablet, which I'm not really sure, maybe like 5,000 years old. It says, as above, so below, as within, so without. So how I understand that is, as above, this energy is, it used to be called like the universe, but now it's called the field, is electrical, magnetic, it's a biofield. And we are connected to this field. As below means here on Earth. As within means this energy is already within us. It is our life force, source energy, whatever you want to call it, spirit, soul. And it's within us and it's outside of us, a unified field. And we're connected to that. So this quantum entanglement, that's the scientific term that all energy is connected. So I really want you to get that. We're energy, money is energy, everything you want is energy, and you already are connected to it. You already are that, right? You're going to go into present tense. I am already that. Let's see, Star Wars. They talk about the Force, about this invisible force within every one of us. Energy is an invisible force. Our science, quantum entanglement, is talking about everything is energy. We are energy. So this force is within us, right? In Star Wars, the force is within you. You are my father. I'm just saying that everyone has this force. The very fact that you are alive, you have that force, right? I don't know if any of you have gone to like a funeral of a friend or a family member and you've looked at them and you go, that is not them, right? That life force has left their body. Now they have a body, they are not the body, they are that life force. And I believe they go back up to source, live maybe another body, but we're still that same soul. All right, so the talking a little about the conscious energy. David R. Hawkins, an MD, PhD, if you go into Google and you look up energy consciousness, like an energy chart, and it goes from like 0 up to 1,000, and so 1,000 is like enlightenment, and then like 0 is like we have a very low, heavy, dense emotion. and that kind of shows you all the different frequency. Like if you go into there, love is the frequency of 500. Joy is the frequency of 540. Peace is the frequency of like 600. Enlightenment starts at 7. Christ consciousness was like a thousand. So we already are these higher consciousness, but we have to focus on that, and we have to let go of these negative programs. 70%, right? We all have learned negative programs. Everyone, everyone has learned them, and everyone has them. So we must learn to let go of these that do not serve us. Um, it kind of makes me think of the movie in The Wizard of Oz. Remember that movie? I don't know what that 76 years ago. And at the very end of the movie, Dorothy wants to go back home to her Auntie Elm's place, and the fairy godmother says, you could have always done that. And Dorothy and the Scarecrow were getting pissed. It's like, why didn't you tell us I could always go? But what the fairy godmother says is, you did not believe. So when you program your money that you already are abundant, you're coming from abundance, you're part of that, and that's where you start from. This is programming your mind, right? There's a structure, a pattern, a memory. This is who you already are. So you have to create that belief beforehand that you already are abundant. Let's see. Oh, I love what Rumi says, that we are not the raindrop in the mighty ocean. We are the mighty raindrop in the ocean. I love that. When Moses is talking to God, the burning bush, and God, or I mean Moses asked, "What should I name you?" He said, "I am that I am." So that is everything. That is energy. I am that, right? I have the kind of the fun of it, and I can go around and start saying I am that, whether it's a nice car, a house, money, or whatever it is. I am that. I already am. So I believe God is energy, and we are energy, and we are connected to everything we are part of. We are already that. We already are abundant. We already born abundant. So um, we are part of the whole. We are whole and complete. We are part of all that is. We are one with everything. We are connected to everything. Quantum entanglement. We are already that. As business owners, I want you to come from that you are born abundant, you are abundant right now, and tomorrow you are abundant. You're creating that energetic frequency of abundance. So we are part of all there is. I am that all there is. I am one with that. I'm connected to that. I'm part of that. Let's see. Yeah, it's just important that we know that we already are abundant. That foundation of us is already abundant. Um, so that's kind of wrapping it up, to be honest with you. Um, so I do want to say again, if you are a business owner, an entrepreneur, a CEO, a coach, consultant, a professional and agency owner that want to master their business, the programs, and master money, which most people in business, they are mastering money, but also you want to master your time. So there's financial freedoms, there is time freedoms, and there is energy freedoms. And I want you to master all those things and live the life that you're meant to live. So if you're one of them, and you're a business owner, and tell all your friends that are business owners that every week on Saturday at noon for 15 minutes, or give or take. I'm going to be talking about the mind, about who we are, about programming the subconscious mind. Why? Because it's playing 95% of the day, and if we want to master life, we must master our subconscious, the program mind. It's playing 95% of the day, and money makes such a difference, right? I want you to program your mind to be abundant, to be rich, to be financially free, to be able to buy whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want, right? Whatever that abundance means to you. So, anyway, thank you very much for being part of my live stream on Saturday for 15 minutes. We will be talking to you later. Next week, I'll be talking about energy, about the law of attraction, and about the law of frequency and how that affects our thinking as business owners creating wealth. So, thank you very much, and we'll be seeing you next week. Bye.